Okay, welcome back to the channel, Hobby-Wan Kenobi, and here we are with the SA-9 Gaskin. This is by Cyber-Hobby, and as you can see now, everything is painted and everything is weathered. I've got a little bit of wear going on in the vehicle, just sort of different shades, different colors blended in. I've done a wash already. We've added a little bit of chipping here and there, and some scratches along the side, which I think is a pretty cool effect on these vehicles. And so now I'm going to add some pastels. And so whereas the rest of this is weathering, I'm going to use pastels to depict actual dirt or caked on mud. So I've got an array of pastels here, and if you've watched my other videos about weathering with pastels, you know that I like to grind up chalk. And that gives me a variety of colors I can mix and match. So let's just give it a shot. What I do like to do, of course, is start at the bottom of the vehicle. A couple reasons for this. It's a place that easily could be ignored if I waited too long. So I'm gonna just start right there so that I don't forget about it. This is where the weathering is going to happen. This is where dirt gets kicked up. It's going to be caked on kind of all over. And the other real practical reason is this gives me sort of a nice canvas to work with. If I make mistakes, it's very easy to fix or simply ignore and turn the vehicle over and not do the same on the top. So I like to start on the bottom for those reasons. Let's see here. I think we're going to start. What I wanted to do was take a look at some of these colors. I have a little bit of this sort of medium brown color, quite a bit of this reddish brown color. I also have a gray here, a white, and black, and these are going to allow me to create some interesting contrasts along with this brown. But I think this brown is going to serve me for most of the work. But we'll see. We'll see as we go along and if my tastes kind of change. So to kick everything off, let's just go ahead and start with the brown. I'm going to start here with the center. I'm going to pick some random spots. In some places I'm going to have pastel directly on. In other cases, just, as you can see here, fairly thin with a lot of the turpenoid. All right, now let's mix it up a little bit and go with some of the gray here. And then let's add some white here. All right, and that might work for now. This does get quite messy, so as you can see, I have a nice piece of paper here that I can easily fold up and throw away without making too much of a mess on my desk here. All right. So we'll let that sit for a little bit. I could also use my heat gun to kind of speed up the process. All right, let's set it down for a second. And I do want to talk about something else. I will often use a mask when I'm working with pastels. Because I'm talking with you, I'm going to not use it, but I recommend getting one of these. Sorry if it's so large on the screen. We go. I recommend getting a mask. If you work with pastels for any period of time, you know, maybe after 5-10 minutes, you start to notice that it does get into your lungs very easily. I've heard people say, oh, well, it's not toxic, so it doesn't matter. My feeling is that if it's not good for your lungs, so I'd rather just keep it out. So like I said, most of the time I'm going to be wearing a mask. But today, because I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to leave it off for the time being. But I do recommend getting a mask. All right. If it's too wet, you can always apply more chalk to help speed up the process. And of course, a heat gun will work as well. All right. Let's go ahead and work on other areas. All right. What I don't want to do right now is I don't want to be blending the colors. You can see I'm keeping them quite separate. I have gray here, white here, and the browns. And I'm leaving a little bit of green as well. I'm leaving a little bit of it untouched. That's because when this dries, we're gonna start moving things around. And if I just blended all of it right now, I would get one color. And that's, I want to not do that. Okay. Everything looks a little bit wet. What I'm looking for is that, of course, the glossiness to let me know. So we'll let this sit for a while. All right, so I went ahead and used the heat gun to kind of get everything moving a little bit quicker. I think there was still a little bit wet here, but I'm gonna work around that. And as you can see, I've put a glove on to avoid any sort of fingerprints. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick off some of the larger particles. Okay, I'm not attempting to blend any of the pastels, nothing like that. Just kick it off. So now, I'm going to start to work some of this around. I'm using a very large soft brush. I don't want to be aggressive just yet. You can see we have some hard edges here, and I like those a lot. So I'm not going to get too crazy, but I'm going to blend the center a bit. Going to blend the center here. All right, but I don't necessarily want to lose that demarcation, that sharp line between the colors. You can choose to, blend everything and make it soft, but I don't think it quite looks right. Nothing in here really looks like a brush mark. It looks to me like it's, dirt that's been kicked up, and that's great. So we're gonna leave that. This little white spot here, there's some streaks, and it looks to me like it's a brush. So I'm gonna kind of rub that streaking effect out a little bit. Same kind of problem here. And at the bottom here as well. Okay, so here we are. I've now got the wheels on. As you can see, they've been weathered with pastels. I think they turned out pretty good. I like to do this effect where on the inside of the track, or of the tread, I like to have the dirt caked in and then sort of cleaned up on the outside. That's a fun little effect to do. Yeah, so I think on the inside and the outside, they're ready to go. As you can see, they're pretty stark compared to the rest of the vehicle, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up some of this dirt color along the bottom of the vehicle, right along here as well. I imagine as the vehicle is moving, dirt is being kicked up. Okay. I've seen photos also where there appeared to be dirt splatter coming up this direction, and I might put a bit there as well. I think that's from the vehicle going in reverse and kicking the dirt up that way. Otherwise, I can't figure out any other explanation as to why that was there, but we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to allow dirt be in some of the surfaces right along the edges here where it might get caught. I imagine crew, stepping here, jumping up on the vehicle, and kind of stepping all over and tracking in dirt. I'm gonna have it go all the way up to the top, along, just sparsely along these crevices here. I imagine the crew walking along here occasionally. Not much back here. I don't think they're gonna be stepping around much here. I really think it's just gonna be, standing here to mount the launcher, or the missiles. Let's actually see if I can make a quick adjustment here. Bear with me. All right. And then I think, so then I should have dirt caked into here a bit, and I'm gonna have some caked in around the turret here. And I'd also like to get some dust up on the screens as well. I think these, since they have covers, they're pretty well protected. I might just get just a little bit right at the bottom, right about where the windshield wipers can't reach, which is actually right in this corner right here of each of these. And then I think I'm gonna get quite a bit up here on this glass. I imagine they would clean it occasionally, but I'm not quite sure what that would look like. Actually, let me back up. I think there might actually be a windshield wiper. So I'm still considering whether or not I actually want to make a windshield wiper. I've seen photos without it. Can't quite come to that decision just yet. So we'll hang on. But I'm going to have dirt kind of caked in the corners and a little bit on the sides. Either way, okay. I'm going to get some of this turpenoid going. Kind of figure out about how high I want the dirt to come up. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Get a nice little line going. Make some adjustments here. Okay, should be able to see a little better now. All right, just drop some pastel there. Okay, some along the back here as well. Okay, so looking at this brown here, this is actually a little bit lighter than the one I just applied. So I'm going to add a little bit more sparingly. Almost as if it were a little bit drier. Good. Okay, now to really break up the colors, I'm going to apply some gray. All right, that'll work. Now, we're going to take let's see, I'm going to use this brush. And this is one, again, I'm just trying to take off, not blend anything, just take off the larger chunks. I really like how this is looking right here. We want to think about the order that we do weathering in. You know, when do we do chipping? When do we do oil stains? When do we do streaking, scrapes? You know, when do we do the dirt? I like to think of all of the other weathering as being, you know, the effect on the vehicle in the past. And then when it comes to dirt, I like to think of it as just kind of a recent splash of dirt or mud. And so this would, in my mind, would be the last one. All right. But all the other fading, all the other, you know, dot filtering, all that other stuff happened before. So I wouldn't put the mud on and then start doing chipping. That just doesn't make actual sense to me. All right. So now I'm going to draw some of it in the direction that the vehicle is moving. Okay, again, I want to keep these little edges. There's some, you know, there's a point at which the mud starts and the base or the color of the vehicle starts. And I kind of want to leave that. All right, this is working fine. Kick these up a bit. This one up a bit more. All right. I do want to make another point too. When I was talking about the safety, you know, sort of wearing a mask with pastel work. Not only does it get in your nose and your mouth, but it could also get in your eyes. And sometimes I notice my eyes burn a bit. Another reason to wear the mask. Again, I'm not wearing the mask now so that I can talk to you about this, but my recommendation is go ahead and wear a mask every time you do this. All right, I love it. I love how that looks. I am very pleased. I don't know if there's much more that I can do with it. I'll tell you, I can add a little bit more here at the door. Let's go for it. Just a little bit here. All right. I like the contrast of the lighter brown. Great. Let that sit in for a little bit. You can see how there's different tones here, right? We've got sort of a darker brown, a lighter brown, maybe a little bit of white or the grayish color. Same along here. And this is what to me makes it look like it's dirt. Dirt should not just be one color. Especially as the vehicle's moving, right? Dirt color should change depending on the locale. All right, these are still a little bit wet. I don't want to touch them just yet. You can see how dark they are. So I'm going to hold off on that for a minute. Okay. So now we're just kind of flicking some of this off. One thing I'm noticing about this color is it does have kind of a rust tone to it. And I don't want to do rust on this vehicle. So I think the best way to combat that is to continue to add lighter browns like we did earlier. And for this, I'm just going to go straight with the lighter one. Good. I'm going to let it be just in kind of each corner. And also at the bottom, because if I decide to do a windshield wiper here, then it'll actually, I've looked at it and it would miss the bottom and just the tops a little bit. I'm gonna let it sit at the edges as well. So basically surround the window. Yeah, that'll work. Thanks so much for watching these videos. If you'd enjoyed them and like to subscribe, please do. Hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.